Greetings, mortals. I am Nathan, the ruler of the underworld, and today, after a long time, we are finally starting to do Inmates of Hell again. I mean, I would have done more of them, but, life gets in the way and chapter reactions are just, simpler. But, anyways, we are back in Inmates of Hell videos. And I have decided we have to do, for this return, a very special video. A video about one of the greatest individuals imaginable. A villain so mighty that people will know him for the rest of his life. A villain so all-powerful that even our grandkids, who will probably not even read these stories or watch them, would still know them. A villain so legendary that it's just impossible to talk about greatest villains of all time without including him in it. And that man, of course, is the legendary, the Chad, the Dante Zogratis. Cue the clown music. Alright, seriously. I get it. No one would go for that description or even put Dante even close to that rank of villain. But, come on, you gotta hype Dante up a little bit. Hell, it seems that I think Japanese schools actually ranked Dante really high. Like, in the first one here, he was able to participate. I think he ranked in the fourth place, and in the second one, he ranked in the fifth place. So, top 5 for 2 polls in a row. Pretty respectable. I would say it's a, reasonable assumption, especially considering the fact that both of his other siblings rank in the, below 10 and 20s. So yeah, I don't know if it's animation or what, but praise him. I think that in both polls were actually taking place after his embarrassing defeat by Magna, or some manga spoilers, just in case you were wondering. But yeah, pretty respectable, honestly. So yeah, let's start this video talking about Dante in terms of what happens to him in the story, so we get a brief summation. Now, Dante in the stories gets introduced pretty early on in the Spade Raid saga, where he is introduced as the Doctor and is very clearly the leader. I mean, he has a crown and sits in the middle and talks to the other two. And then after that, deciding where they are gonna go. And he decides to go up against the Black Bulls, which is a pretty tall order, but considering the fact he's the main bad guy, he's gonna be able to pull his weight. And in honesty, if you read just this volume, you will respect them. Even if you read the next volume and there's a fight between him and the Black Bulls, you are going to respect them. Like, he's respectable there. Even if he does end up losing after, a pretty hardcore battle between Yami and with Asta. Like, I can't scratch how OP and broken those spears are, especially considering the fact that both of them counter one aspect of his magic. But then, after that epic battle, things go downhill where he, takes, I guess, forever to regenerate. I'm gonna blame Asta's magic because of it, because otherwise I don't see why it would take so long for the greatest scientist to be able to heal one katana wound. And then when the Spade Raid does some amends, with all of its problems, I would say, Dante goes up against Noct and Jack, who don't beat him the easiest, I would say, but I would definitely say that out of all the three, he probably was like the hardest one, but still, Noct easily, effortlessly blocked him in his defensive move, punched him back, and then Jack just had a little time before he cut through his gravity magic, and then, wound him. Which, to be fair, doesn't knock Dante out, although it does make me wonder why that would affect him. Like, Dante's thing was never, taking damage, or being immune to damage, it was taking damage but not taking him down, so I don't see why cutting magic would really work. Like, would cutting magic have left an aftermark or something, that's why he couldn't regenerate? I don't know. Apparently his healing factor was supposed to be even superior, even though it feels honestly inferior, if anything, but whatever. He has a little bit of slice battle, but then he immediately gets to 100% because of Moas, blah blah. And then after what has to be like a couple of minutes, if not an hour, of just letting Jack slicing him, he finally decides to finish him off, but then he comes to but then Magma shows up and has one of the most badass, if you're a Magma fan, battles where he knocks Dante out in a pretty epic fashion to show how even a peasant can take down a king. I kind of question if Dante was really the best one to use for that, since you think it would make more sense to have like a noble from the Clover Kingdom get it, since about the Zogratis family, I don't think have ever been confirmed that they are noble families. I think it's implied as the Zogratis family are nobles, but it's never like I don't think it was ever specifically stated. Like the Zogratis family is a really weird thing when you actually think about it from anything we know so far of them. But regardless, like the guy wears a crown, I guess it's symbolic and all. Like someone who has the power of the King of the Devils and has a crown, yeah, I think it works as the a great addition for Magnus' storyline. Close enough, let's say. But then after he gets beaten, his magic goes haywire because I guess gain the play of magic still means that he can lose control of magic. And then Jack somehow slices him. I'm saying somehow because Dante, next time we see his body after time skip and the little panel we get of the aftermath doesn't seem to be like that deep a wound. Kind of like, it just looks like Jack's just kind of like damaged in between and just kind of like broke down. Just kind of like sliced a bit into the neck, but then it stopped to work entirely. It sounds like just decapitate something, which is odd because Dante's head looked like it was like completely capable, in a perfect position to gift wrap for Jack to cut it off. If you know what I mean. But yeah, after that little weirdness, we get see him one last time in with Lucius, where he's like taking his body magic from him to create his perfect bodies, as he's like in this weird kind of like getting covered in this holy magic or whatever it's called, purified magic, just as it's been abstracted. Now we do not know if he's still in that cocoon or not. Like we've seen that, like I believe we've seen when we got that amazing shot of William Lucid still in the chair, like what looked like to be that tree, that Clifford tree or purified Clifford tree with those cocoons there. But we haven't gotten a good enough shot to see if they are still there or if they're just kind of merged together with the cocoon or what's going to happen. So we gotta talk about the future at the end. So yeah, Dante started out really strong, really badass. If we're talk like for anime fans, he probably started the best way because like you don't get the circus music you get with Dante that you're gonna get when the anime returns. Which fingers crossed that we change things. Or things get extended or something. I mean, if Kubo is gonna do it with Bleach, apparently the next part, because I do believe it will say that the next, the invasion, the next, I believe next week is coming. Bleach Frozen Part 2 is coming out, so if we're gonna get, and I believe that will say that there's gonna be like a bunch of changes, like a bunch of added scenes and things explained. So, well, I don't think explained, but like there's gonna be a lot of extra stuff in there. So who knows? Maybe we're gonna have the same thing when the anime comes back with Black Clover. I mean, certain things certainly happened beforehand with those filler arcs, like that is, and I believe the movie that came out recently it is supposed to be taken as canon. So who knows? We might see it get more of an expansion. But yeah. Anyway, so then let's go into the backstory with Dante. Now, unfortunately, due to the way Tabata writes it, we didn't actually get a proper backstory. I mean, not to say that he got no backstory, he definitely got more than Vonica, Lucius, and Julius, because Julius had like no real backstory in the spate. Lucius, I'm still waiting and building it up, and Vonica, hopefully she'll get some, but honestly, I'm not that certain. It's kind of weird how Vonica's kind of pushed aside, but regardless. We didn't get any. We don't get much, but we get at least some. For example, we can take a logical leap to assume that Dante was born a little bit after, quite a little bit after Lucius, because he generally does look a bit old. Like it feels like they're going in like a Lucius, Julius, Dante, then Veronica and Xenon being around the same kind of period. That's based on their appearances, which we can take with grain of salt, but that's how I'm interpreting them, looking at them. So we can assume that he was like born a little bit after Lucius. I would say Lucius could possibly be around his 8 or 10. Some I would say wager there, and then Dante came because again there all seem to be like a gap between the ages between the characters. So take with that what's worth. And then he was being attacked, like Xenon. We can assume that he was being bullied and attacked by other people. Not sure if it's his magic, like Xenon, or if that's just how Zogratis are being treated. Since the little bits of information we get them does imply that people don't like the Zogratis even before they take over and all that. Like they attack them and all. It's just that the greatest family siblings, were specifically Dante and Monica, was simply too powerful for them to be bullied to the ground. Like Xenon was, we heard, well, Dante and Monica could bite back, which is implied that. Which seems to be implied that there were even some stronger people or more skilled doing that challenged Dante when he was younger, who possibly used weapon swords as well that strike him, because he mentions in their fight against Yami that even if you are superior to me in terms of skill and combat, all that, you can strike me down with whatever blade, but I will regenerate. So I do have to wonder if how violent the backstory actually is. But that's the speculating parts of the backstory. What we do know about Dante is that when he was, I would wager in his 15s and a bit older, I'm guessing when he was a legal adult, he was really bored with his life. He went around hunting for animals and killed them, but he was still bored. He killed the soldiers from the Invading Kingdom, but he was still bored. He slept with a woman, and he was still bored. It was cut in the anime, but yeah, that could not have. Yeah, he's the closest thing to a sex scene that we're gonna get. Him just sitting on the bed with a woman in the covered in it. So yeah, he was very bored, and I believe he was also shown. I'm not. There was also a celebration, which I'm guessing was him when they heard the news that Yuno was born. All of them celebrated, where he was just like bored there. Yay! Our king and queen got a kid. How great! I'm so happy. Yay! But nothing really excited him. But then some magic thing happened. Now this is where we get a bit confusing because okay, so Lucius's and Dante's plans or mindsets do not work because Dante's overall goal in the Spade arc was to bring those out, to bring malice, to bring negatives. That's what Dante considers to be the ultimate emphasis of human rage, envy, and wrath, and all that type of stuff. That's what makes him happy. Like even his battle against Yami, when he got humiliated, filled envy and anger towards Yami for humiliating him in this way, he felt like, oh, this is more close to human, and all that. So it's kind of weird how he isn't against it. That he's more against actually losing. He's in favor of being damaged and merely in that sense, but he's not. No, he's not. No, Vonica. He doesn't accept defeat. He cannot process defeats. So it does kind of raise the question of how much he knew of the plan, since apparently Lucius did fully explain the plan because he was having that speech in Xenon's backstory and Dante was next to him. Granted, I think he was wearing civilian clothing at the time, so question if he joined Xenon in the Spade military or did Xenon join first and then Dante and Vika just kind of had to join later. I mean, we know Dante was in the Spade military in manga, that's canon 100%. Vanika, I don't think there was any confirmation in the manga, but the anime did show her as part of the Spade military, but we have no confirmation if she was in the manga, which I'm gonna take manga sources a bit more seriously than anime, especially when the anime have stuff like fucking wrong type of clothing on the characters, so I'm gonna question those a bit. So yeah, Dante, we can assume, so it's unclear on when he joined. I kind of want to say he joined after because there was no mention of Xenon and siblings when he first joined. You would think that because how powerful the Zogratis siblings even before the devil powers. You'd kind of assume that someone was mentioning, "Wow, Xena, no surprise that Zogratis is powerful. I mean, after all, his other two siblings are also extremely powerful, or at least, his older brother is also extremely powerful." But regardless, he was in the Spain military at some point, and doing it, due to being a Spade soldier, he took advantage of it on one night when they were taking over the kingdom, and he went to the royal family, to Yuno's parents, where he killed Yuno's dad, but enslaved Yuno's mother because he was, she was an arcane stage, and he loves his arcane stage. I mean, I saw he tried to take Ray and Vanessa as soon as he saw they were arcane stages and wanted him to use them only for him. So, yeah, that's what he did. Makes me kind of question if Yuno's mom had a Dove Flamingo Viola relationship with Dante, but well, I don't think it was ever specifically stated or even hinted at, but we'll hopefully we will get some explanations. Black Clover doesn't have weekly, well, every volume SBS type of thing like One Piece, so I question how much we're gonna find out, but hopefully there'll be a data book or something released that will be able to elaborate on these type of stuff, or maybe a full backstory to explain everything. Again, like Black Clover, either you get the backstory or you get a very brief backstory, or you just get a few, or you get like an overarching backstory, just connects everything to one thing. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. So that's all we have about Dante's backstory. Oh, one more important thing is to mention is that it's very likely that Lucius was the one who was raising Dante to be a narcissist. Because one thing you will know about Dante is that he is a narcissist. Like his favorite things are literally himself and malice. But let's be honest, himself is the most important thing. Not to mention his magic is body magic, and people who are narcissists usually obsess. And people who are narcissists usually obsess about their bodies. So yeah. And since the Dark Triad presents a triangle of dark negative emotions, narcissist, nervous, and psychopath, yeah, we assume Dante we originally assumed Dante was the Machiavellian one because he was the king, he was the ruler. But no, it was pretty apparent that he was the narcissist. Like, it was pretty obvious, especially I would say after that when he was outright in the end of the Magna battle where he was like, "No, how could you? Someone so lowly and below me beat me?" So yeah, Dante is a narcissist. So I do get the impression that Lucius was the one responsible for that, since it will be very easy. Like the way that while we haven't seen it, the way Lucius talked to Xenon, I feel like really does suggest that's how he was talking. Like you saying to Xenon, "Oh, if you want, do not worry. You're the closest like me, Xenon. If you learn devil magic, you have battle skill and you are more specialized for devil magic. So just become devil host, and you'll be better than Dante and Vonica. So I would not be surprised if after that he went to Dante, he rolled to Dante, and he was like, "Oh, Dante, you are clearly the strongest in the family. Like, your body magic allows you to regenerate everything, your wounds, everything, honestly. Like, I don't even understand why I need blood and bone, considering how superior your body magic is to those two. Yes, you are amazing. You're the strongest in the family. No, you're not just the strongest in the family. You're the strongest in the entire kingdom. You can literally take everything." Like, that type of shit, and I would imagine that young Dante would believe that, especially if the Zogratis siblings were raised by Lucius. So, yeah, Dante probably did have. So Dante probably was raised that way, and that's how he grew up to his narcissism. Because again, there was probably very few people. The way it is shown, it's very obvious in my opinion that there were very few people that could actually challenge him. The only ones that could challenge him were very few and select. And yeah. No, while he did go down in a circus type of sense, Dante himself actually is relatively powerful. Like, The guy mastered 80% Lucifero pre-time skip, if not even beforehand, because I mean he mentioned Xena not being mastered, not mastering the percentage or mastering it just now post time skip. So you do have to question. So it does at least imply that Dante had mastery of his star power for a while. Maybe so his amplitude to magic again. I kind of feel like that's just more evidence that Lucius was manipulating them because mastering the strongest devil's magic to 80% when the other two just got into 80 maybe and one got up to 70. So Dante does have a huge aptitude for devil magic. It really and considering how battles played out, especially in the end of the spell between Asta and Nami, I really do get a feeling that someday defeats will either Lucius manipulated Dante in a way where he would automatically lose to the heroes, was in their battle in the Spade Raid, or it was like one of those you have to dumb down the villain so the hero could win because otherwise there'll be like no reason. Since I mean I don't know about you, but the way I see it, Dante a lot of like not 9 out of 10. I feel like Dante would just after hearing Magnus and he'll take him down, be like, "You insignificant peasant, die, die, die!" Like I don't see him even lying. Oh, hit me all you want and walk away, so you remember how inferior you are to me. Like that's kind of the way I'm getting it from here. And again, like Dante doesn't like body magic, but he does use it a lot. Well, he does have a way to use it. It's not like Dante just keeps it to regeneration. Like against Don Yami and Asta, he did use his body magic quite effectively. It just if it's ever going to be fully explained, it's gonna be hopefully shown later. And while we're on the subject of his gravity, that Lucifer's gravity magic and Dante's biomagic, the funny thing about it is that it seems like Dante's grimoire was actually made to look more like a gravity magic grimoire. Like, I get it, you can't really show a grimoire in the best representation of magic, but like comparing his to Xena and Vonica, who I would say have a very clear example of bone and blood, Dante is just kind of random. I would say like you can. I'm not sure if you can see it in the back, but yeah, I think Dante's does look a bit weird for a body magic user. Again, you could say it doesn't make the most sense, but you would think there'll be like something like from Four Knights of the Apocalypse when it comes to chaos magic. But yeah, so no, so yeah, Dante again. So Dante's magic is kind of just kind of funny that he has more of a gravity magic. Meant there was a foreshadow that he will certainly have gotten gravity magic. I mean, there's gotta be a foreshadow that he had better aptitude for gravity magic. Again, we don't really know how the Zogratis siblings trained with one another. All we know is that they increased their percentages during the time skip and beforehand sometime. But yeah, so now another thing is that Dante said that he can even keep himself young, and the Dark Zugata siblings, well, the Dark Triad don't have their ages revealed. But I think that has more. But I don't think that's related. If anything, that's like a more of a hint at possibly their real ages. But we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully we'll figure out what if there's a purpose behind, or if that's just something that Tabata forgot. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah. Now after that, let's go a little bit over Dante's design. Dante looks pretty cool. Like, one thing I gotta give Black Rose is that their designs are usually nailed. Like, Tabata fails at the villains spectacularly, but the guy can at least make cool looking villains. Like, that, you cannot deny it. And Dante does look really, really cool. Like, I do see why he would be like, as a design aesthetic, he does definitely look like the boss and very interesting. And the little crown, the little different hairstyle he does make him stand out a bit more. And I believe that his little mark that he has is reference to Botta's earlier works, Hungry Joker, I think it's called. Again, that's a thing where I think the main character had it, but yeah. So now As for Dante's future role, I don't really. Again, I want to say that the Zogratis siblings are all gonna come back because I feel they'll be the most interesting characters to bring back, especially considering the fact that Dante and by extent Fonica's personalities and motives and all, from what we've seen, don't really clash well with what Lucius makes the Paladins believe. They're like, to make a perfect world, we need to do this. You are sacrifice, unnecessary sacrifice for a perfect world for Lucius Ama. Like, I don't see Dante saying that for any longer period of time, being like, wait, why would I want everyone to be equal? I like us showing that I'm superior to everyone. I like being superior to everyone. Or I like malice. I like people being sad. I like people being angry. Why would I be against it? Well, I'll be for it. So, yeah. Now, there's also some people saying that this changed Dante's personality because he saw that even low people can affect them. No, I feel like his worldview just doesn't conflict well with Lucius. Is that why he would change sides? You don't have to give. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having the Black Bulls. Like, no, you don't need every character to change sides, change their viewpoint, or become an ally based off what the Black Bulls did. Like, you can just have like Dante. He doesn't like the world that Lucius wants to create because it's perfect. Why would he side with that long term? Especially what he did to him. Like, remember, Dante is a narcissist, and he spent basically dangling from the sky, butt-ass naked, and lost in a battle that was always planned to. Like, Dante was always planned to have been defeated and maybe killed by Jack. According to Lucius' plan. Like, why would he side with Lucius after that? So yeah, Dante. So yeah, if Dante does side with the heroes or goes against Lucius, it would make sense in my opinion because of the personality thing. And we know there is some conflict between personalities, like we saw with Sister Lily not wanting to kill Asta, so she subconsciously sent him to the line of the rising sun. So, like, I mean, when you're as directly against it as Dante, I feel like you would probably side against it. Although I guess you could maybe say that his rage towards the Black Bulls maybe taken over and he will not think about how little his world and Lucius' world actually makes sense. So maybe that would be it. But again, like I don't see him being saying oh, Lucius, create a perfect world or whatever, and it making sense. Unless if Tabata wants to simplify them to the same standard to the rest of the Paladin, so he could just get the cool fights and the cool hero moments by the characters, like a cool punch from Zoro and Magma to take down Dante once again. I don't want that to happen, but this is like Clover. I would not exactly be surprised if it happened. But yeah, now after what could possibly happen, my overall thoughts, my closing thoughts on Dante. He was a cool villain. He showed a lot of promise, but due to the way how Black Clover is written, he just inevitably fell down. And unlike the others who at least have some intrigue or at least had like a cool badass fuck conclusion, he just kind of ended up like being this big, the black sheep in the family for being the clown in it. So yeah, that's it for Dante. I hope you enjoyed this Inmates of Hell episode. I'll try to give you more of them so we could have them more regular. But I make no promises. And if there's any villains you want there to be discussion videos on, just tell me in the comments below. And that's it. I cannot wait to see. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And with that's it, I cannot wait to see all of you motos next time. Goodbye.